Hey everyone, welcome back to Fecto Reviews, Tips and Tricks. I think I have finally cracked the code on overlapping Claptoning wire. This is 40 gauge, by the way. 40 gauge nichromaty. Little trick that I found to do it. The problem is that you really can't use any cores thicker than 26 gauge. Here's the reasons why. You get the 3 little inserts with this thing. You drop this one out of here because I'm going to need it anyway. You get 28, 26, and 24 gauge inserts. Okay? The problem is that I have found, and I kind of accidentally found this out after wasting hundreds and hundreds of feet of wire trying to figure this out. I mean, I've tried every tension on the spool, everything. And by the way, this 40 gauge, the tension on this spool is tight enough to where this wire is just shy of breaking. So it is pretty firm on there. Okay? Alright, it is pretty snug. You're going to have to play around with that a little bit, but I got it just to the point of almost breaking for this to work for me. So, if you have it tight enough where the wire snaps, back it off, should be good to go. Alright, I'm using 28 gauge, and I have 4 cores here. Using your 28 gauge insert, usually that Claptoning wire is just going to bunch on top of itself and cause all sorts of problems and be an absolute nightmare. Believe me, I want to throw this thing in the street. Here we go. For 28 gauge wire, for using multiple cores, more than 2, so 3 or 4, haven't tried it with 5, use your 26 gauge wire insert. Use that one. The 28 gauge, it fits so, it's almost exactly the same depth or width as this wire. That wire, it can get hung up in there ever so slightly when that thing's spinning, and that is what causes your problems. This 26 gauge has more leeway, therefore lets that wire have a little bit of wiggle room in there and prevents it from getting all caught up. So if you're using 26 gauge, use your 24 gauge wire insert, and that should fix your problem. I have gone through, now granted, I'm not using long pieces of wire. I have not tried it with like a foot or 2 feet of wire. This here is about, I don't know, let's see, about 6 inches, about 6 or 7 inches worth right here. It's not a whole lot. That's usually all I need. I'll make a couple of these, and I can get, I can get a dual coil out of one of these. You just wrap it smart. I am using the straw insert, and I'm gonna do this in real time. The first time this worked, I was blown away. I'm like, wow, I think I actually got my money's worth out of this thing. The first time this worked, I was ready to throw it in the street. So I'm doing everything clockwise on this too. So I'm gonna push this wire in a little bit more. Give myself a little more slack on that. I'm just going to wrap this around the wire clockwise so we can get it in the chuck. And this 40 gauge is super thin. I mean, it is super, super thin. So, I'm going to pay attention to it and cut off that little extra tail right there. Now, the chuck of this drill, I am not too happy with the chuck of this drill. It's a pain in the butt to work with, honestly. I'm going to stick this. We've got to kind of lift this thing up a little bit. Put that in there. I try to get this as centered as I can, just to help idiot-proof this process. And that's looking pretty good right there. I'm going to go ahead and snug this down. Okay. Alright. I'm going to take all the tension out of this wire. Now, like I said, I'm going... Let's see. Let me make sure... I'm going counterclockwise with this. Okay, I'm wrapping counterclockwise. So, let's go on ahead and do this. I'm not using full speed. I'm just taking it nice and slow. And I'm going to keep this right about here so it doesn't go off my table. And this is not the smoothest surface in the world either, guys. I got some sticky stuff on here, all sorts of crap. I took a wet paper towel and just wiped down the surface of my desk here. So, here we go. Let's give this a shot. Let's turn it on. And... so I don't look like a joker, this all should go just fine. What I'm going to do, I'll also keep weight on this. I'll put my elbow on it while I'm doing it, or whatever. And I'll just get a moderate speed going. About like that. And I ain't going to do it no faster, just to help prevent any possible problem. Usually I'll just keep my hands on this thing. You want this thing to stay stationary and not move, the drill. That way it forces everything back. And so far, this is about the maximum distance I'd get to before I start having some stupid overlapping problems with the Claptoning wire. So far, this technique has made it absolutely flawless to Clapton wire all the way down with no hiccups, no overlapping, no bunching, no nothing. It's just a nice, tight, clean Clapton. I just let the wire come all the way out of there and let it wrap up a little bit, and what I'll do is I'll pull a little slack off of this thing, off your Claptoning wire. That's it, then I'll just snip it. That's it. Boom. Just like that. The only reason why I pull a slack out is that thing don't retract on a spool and bird's nest on me. So actually, my little trick that I accidentally discovered worked real nice. I don't have a macro focus on this, but I promise, honest to God, there ain't no imperfections in this wire. It is smooth as silk. It's exactly how it needs to be. Obviously, you know, you get the twist out of it, but that's how this machine is advertised to work, and I finally figured it out. So I hope this really helps you guys out. I know it's a 10-minute video. Please give it a try. Let me know. Leave a comment down below. Like I said, I haven't dug into this too deep and tried a whole bunch of different types of wire. I plan on doing that, but I just wanted to get this video out there because a lot of people are using 40 gauge for fused Claptons. They want the multi-cores with this tool, and I really hope I just debunked a major problem that a lot of people are having. So if this solves your problem, please share this thing on all over the message boards and everything so it can help somebody else feel like they didn't just waste, you know, 60, 70 bucks on this machine. As always, guys, practice and enjoy, and stay juiced and vape on.